Hello everyone, I am Deborah. Today we are going to take some fresh tomatoes that I harvested from my garden along with some fresh herbs, and we are going to make two tomato recipes. One is going to be a baked tomato that is going to be smothered in some parmesan and mozzarella cheese. And the second one is a cold tomato recipe where I am going to take some cottage cheese, you guys, and it is going to be seasoned with some of my dried herbs that also were harvested from my garden. And then we are going to make a tomato tower salad. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you are ready to see how all of this deliciousness comes together, then stick with me and I will show you how coming up next. So you guys, let's start by talking about these herbs. So again, I harvested these fresh from my garden, and I am going to make a Italian seasoning by using some basil, some oregano, and some thyme. And the ratio that I like to use, of course, you do this according to your own personal preference, but the ratio I like to use is 2 part basil to 1 part of the oregano, and then a 1/4 part of the actual thyme. Very, very simple. After I harvested them, guys, I washed them, dried them in paper towels, let them sit for maybe a day or so. Then I put them into my oven, which has a dehydration feature on it, and I dried them. And then once that was done, I took the leaves and put them into these containers. So let me just show you quickly how I make my Italian seasoning blend. So I take some of the dried basil leaves, some of the oregano, and then the thyme. Put them in my hand, you guys, and rub them together until these herbs are ground up. And you don't want to do this until you get ready to use these herbs, because you want to retain the flavor of these herbs for as long as possible. And rubbing them together like this actually releases all of the flavor and all of this goodness. And the aroma, I like to call this nature's perfume. It is absolutely phenomenal, you guys. And then you end up with your seasoning. And then once that is done, you guys, then I have another of my containers right here. Simply take it and put this in. And this is my Italian seasoning blend. And that's the oven, you guys, that has preheated to 400 degrees for the baked tomatoes. Okay. So these are the herbs. So I'm going to clear all of this out, and then we are going to get ready to get into slicing these tomatoes. So in front of me, I've got my tomato. We are going to slice off the top that has a stem, and we're going to discard that. And then simply slice these tomatoes, I guess, to about 1/4 of an inch thickness. And it's just that simple. Now, if you feel like there's too much moisture on these, just simply put them on a paper towel. Just like that, and set them aside. And then we're going to move on to the rest of these tomatoes. Okay, everyone. So these are the tomatoes that we are going to be baking today. Gonna flip them over real quick again, just to get some of this moisture off, because I want baked tomatoes. I don't want them steamed. Okay. All right, that looks good. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to bring over our parchment lined baking dish, and we are going to layer in the seasoning and the cheese, and then top it off with some olive oil before they go into the oven. So bring these back, front and center. Let's spread them out. All right, we're gonna start with our Italian seasoning. And this is really going to give awesome flavor to these tomatoes. Oops, don't want to waste this, you guys. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can do this. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't planned, but it definitely does work. And there we go, because again, we do not want to waste any of this deliciousness at all. Matter of fact, let me do that. I think that'll work best. I'll just take the tomato and dip the tomato in the herbs. We just created something, you guys. And that is the beauty of cooking. You may not plan something, but these accidents turn into something spectacular. Okay. All right, so then the next thing that we want to do is to put on our cheese. So we've got some shredded Parmesan cheese here. Okay. Some shredded mozzarella cheese. All right, you guys. And last thing before they go into the oven is some EEOB, extra virgin olive oil. Sprinkle a little bit on top. This needs a little bit more cheese. All right, you guys, can you taste the goodness before these even go into the oven? But into the oven they must go. Preheated at 400 degrees for about 8 minutes. We'll check on them, and then if all this has melted and come together, then I'll put them on the broiler for about a minute or so, just so this cheese will get a little bit more brown. I'll see you soon, and I'll show you the next recipe coming up. All right, everyone, so this recipe is the cold tomato recipe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our tomato and gently remove the stem in the center. I have a little paring knife here that will help me accomplish that. And out comes that stem. All right. Just a little remnant left. Let's just get this out too. Okay. Okay. So this is out. All right, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and take the back off as well. Okay, all right, and that looks good. Okay, you guys, and then we are going to proceed to slice this about 1/4 inch as well. And I'm keeping these in order as well because this is I'm going to rebuild my tower, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So just take this last little slice here. You know what, I'm just gonna use that as my lid. Okay, that is good enough. So let's move this aside, and I'm gonna do the same thing with these. Just go ahead and put these on a paper towel to soak up some of this moisture. All right. And let's move this aside. Now, front and center, I'm going to bring my cottage cheese. Now, cottage cheese, once again, I took it and I put it into my NutriBullet and I blended it until it was nice and smooth and creamy. And I am going to season this with some of my Italian seasoning. And once again, you guys, you season it to your liking. Go ahead and mix this together. Smells amazing. So good. Let's set this aside, and it is time to assemble. All right, you guys, so let's start to assemble. So we're gonna start with flavoring these tomatoes with some salt. Oh, okay. Let me go check the tomatoes that I put in the oven. I will be right back. Look at how wonderful these look, and they smell amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set them aside and let them cool a little bit, and then after that I'm gonna plate them. In the meantime, when I come back, I am going to finish showing you how to put this tomato tower salad together. All right, you guys, so we already started with putting some salt on this. Then next, we're gonna put a little black pepper. Then our cottage cheese and herb mixture. Put this on top. Some EEOV. And then our next layer. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. All right, guys, and to give it a really pretty presentation, we're going to top it with some fresh basil. Like that. And there we have it, okay? All we need to do is to plate this. And you guys, we are going to give both of these recipes a taste. All right, you guys, it is time to give this deliciousness a taste. Lord, I thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so before we bite into this tomato tower salad, I just wanted to note one thing. So in between the layers, I did put some EEOV, and it created a little mudslide, you guys. So it did not stand up as a tower as I wanted it to, but it's still okay. So I just wanted to show you that I did do a second one where I did not put any olive oil in between, and it held its tower shape. So I just wanted to make that note. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and give this a taste. Oh my gosh. Again, the aroma is magnificent, you guys. Oh my gosh. The sweet of these fresh tomatoes, along with the savory of the cottage cheese blended in with these herbs. Oh my goodness, you guys. So good. Absolutely delicious. This can serve as an appetizer, a side dish, or a very light lunch. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, let me put this aside so we can get into the next recipe. Otherwise, you guys, you'll be looking at me for a while eating, so, and I know that's not what you want to do. Okay. Now for the next, which is our baked tomato that has been smothered with these herbs and Parmesan and mozzarella cheese. And what I did, you guys, I actually shallow fried some low carb tortilla shells. So what I plan on doing is taking a little bit of this EOV, just a little bit, put that on top, along with one of these tomatoes, and dig in. We just did something, you guys. Something really, really good. Delicious. I encourage you to give both of these recipes a try, because you will be happy that you did. Take your fresh ingredients, Get creative with it, and before you know it, you have got yourself two delicious appetizers and or meals. You guys, give these a try, and when you do, please do leave in the comments that you did and let everyone know how you feel about it. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please do me the honor of doing so by pressing that subscribe button below. And also remember to hit that notification bell so that you will always be informed of when I upload new content. And remember, you guys, it is a great day, and you continue to make it your own kind of special with fabulous, delicious recipes such as this. And until we meet again, keep growing, keep thriving, keep pushing those boundaries, and I will see you all real soon on my next Fit by 50 and enjoy.